holiday journals and scrapbooks don't necessarily have to be red and green. They can be pink and gold. In part 1 of my video, I'll show you how I constructed my Nutcracker journal, and then in part 2, I'll walk you page by page through the finished journal, and hopefully I will inspire you to create one of your own. All of the paper elements in this journal, the cover, the pockets, the tags, everything were created by Serena of Vintage Press Studio. And other than the actual kit for the journal, the paper portion, you are going to need two-sided tape, a glue stick, a hole punch just for your tags, scissors, and just a little bit of glue. You don't want to use too much glue when you're creating something that's made out of paper. There are 2 options for the cover of this journal. I'm just going to use this one. It may or may not be the same one that you will see later on in the video when I'm putting on all of my elements. I've already cut out, as you can see, I've already cut out the cover. I've done that with all the pages to make it a little easier, make this go a little bit faster when I'm showing the construction. So I took the 2 pages, they're all cut out. I'm putting tape on the tab here on the end, which it actually kind of gives you the instructions there. And I'm going to line it up. Hopefully, that's the plan. My hands are a little shaky today. I'm not really sure why, but we're going to do this. All right. Now you should have something that looks like this. In this journal, there are a lot of different tabs that you may say, why is that tab there? It helps with the structure to hold everything together. Now all of these tabs, we're going to glue down like that. So the easiest way that I found to do that is to just take the 2-sided tape and keep right on going across. And you're probably going, Sherry, you're going to have sticky stuff all over your journal. Well, here's the thing. This is all going to get covered up. So just bear with me while we do this. Now, if you don't want to do all of these the way I'm doing it, you don't have to. You just need to get all of them, those tabs, taped down. I'm either throwing it in my trash can or I'm throwing it on the floor. I'm not really certain. But either way, it's not up here on my work area. We'll worry about that later. So, okay. And then this is the last one that we've scored here. And now we're going to put that down also. And that gives us a smooth edge to that end. So now you have something that looks like this. You've scored all your tabs and glued them down. Now we need to do some folds in the journal. Now I don't know how difficult this is going to be for you to see. It might be, when you see it in person, it might be a little easier for you, but we have score lines. You can see one here, 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 and one here. And you need to fold on all of those score lines. These 2, I've already folded ahead of time to make it a little easier on myself. But these, I left for you. So, there's 1. There's 2. Oops, that one's crooked. I don't like that. Let me just straighten out a little bit here. Going too crazy. Here's the 3rd one. And here's the final one here. So now you have all of these folds here. Now what we're going to do, and I don't know if you can see it very well in the video, I'm going to try to move in just a little bit closer, but you have your fold here, 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 and then this little one. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the 1, 2, third one over right here, and that's where we're going to fold this, and we're going to glue it down just like that. I think I'm going to put a piece of tape right on that edge first. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want that edge in particular to stay down really well. So I'm going to carefully put a little piece of tape across here. And that's going to butt up to another piece of paper. And that's why I'm a little bit more particular about making sure that that one stays down. Grab our glue stick. And glue away. Now, in some parts of this journal, you may see me, maybe I'll put a little tape there too. In some parts of the journal, you may see me go off camera a little bit when I'm using this glue stick. And that's because I don't want to get glue on my surface. So just so you know, that's why I'm trying to consciously not get glue in my workspace. And press that down. This is just a paint blade from Iron Orchid Designs. I'll get that out yet. Sometimes I use that to help press my things down a little bit better, and it's rubbery. It won't tear my paper. So now you have this, and because you added more paper, you fold that paper over. You need to refold on your lines here just to make sure. See, just a little bit there. And if you look, now you have the basic structure of the cover. The cover is complete at this point. Now, I promised you that we were going to cover this up so we didn't have that sticky tape, so that's what we're going to do next. When you get the kit, you will see the white around the edges of this paper. Because of the way it was printed, there's a little white frame around it. You're going to need to cut that off. You can, if you're a good cutter, you can cut it off with your scissors. If you have a regular cutter, you can cut it with that. But again, because of these edges and I want the cover to be sturdy, I'm going to start out by putting some tape along here. This two-sided tape is something that I get on Amazon. It's a relatively inexpensive tape. It comes with either 6 or 9 rolls. I really like it. If you're interested in that, the glue stick, anything that I'm using here today, I'm going to put a link to a page with all of my favorite paper crafting supplies, and you can find them there. If possible, I'll put individual links to specific products so you don't have to look at everything. But now putting this tape on here means I have to be extra careful when I cover this up, because this tape is super, super, super sticky. So it's kind of like a one-shot deal. So take your time when you do this. I'm not going to take as much time as I should because I'm trying to get through this for you. But do as I say, not as I do. Now, we're going to put the glue stick all over this area. Like this. The main part holding it together is probably that tape more than anything. But we're going to do that. There's our glue stick. If you really want to add a little something on the corners or something like that, you can put a little tiny dot of glue. Sometimes I do that in the corners just to be extra safe. Now this is the paper, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start at the bottom right because I'm a righty, and I'm going to line this up with the bottom edge here and right up with this edge here. And then we're just going to go back and trim it. Because I use tape, I feel like I can go ahead and cut this out right away. And you can see, look how far off I was. I was way far off. But you are not going to be able to tell that in this finished journal. A lot of that's getting covered up. Like I said, you know, take your time. It's not really that hard. It's just that I'm trying to do it faster than I should be because I'm recording a video. And it doesn't need to be perfect for that. It doesn't need to be perfect anyway. And then I'm just trying to cut along the edge of the journal here. Neatly, somewhat neatly. I'm going a little fast, but... And because I lined that up that way, I have a little bit of extra paper left here. I can make a little tag out of that if I want. Whatever I want to do, trace one of the other tags that come with the kit and make another tag. Save that. Don't throw it away. And then I'm going to try to trim this. This is not going to be my best trim job, again. But bear with me. There. And again, we added more paper. So let me fold this again. Make sure we have all of our little folds in there. And now we have the front, I didn't let that dry all the way, but now we have the front and back cover almost completed. I would like to point out also, you know, maybe this is a good time to mention this. The way I had to trim that because I was, you know, kind of unhappy with it. Something you can do also to hide some of that white on the edges is you can distress the edges. This is something I just got from Amazon. Now the journal is going to be puffy because I'm going to put a lot of stuff in it. So I think I'm going to wait to do those. So we have that much done. And the next part of our process is what's called the accordion pages. And the accordion pages are something that Serena likes to use in these types of journals. And they're what makes up all of the pages in the journal almost. There's still some journal pages in there, but these accordion pages are, I guess, the main pages in the journal where you're going to put a lot of your pockets and trims and things. So I'm going to try to quickly cut out one of these. You can see it's right, there's a name of what it is right on the page. Now all of the pages look like this with the little tab, except for one page. This one page does not have a tab, and that is the last page. Other than that, you can put the other pages, these pages, in any order you want at this point, as long as the one without the tab is last. Now, on a lot of these, I have already put the tape on. Like I said, I'm trying to make things go a little faster. I'm going to fold right here where it says on our little tab. And then I'm going to put some tape on that tab. Two-sided tape. Just like that. And then we're going to go through and start putting them on here. I guess I didn't fold them. I was looking to see if some of them I already have folded, but not all of them. I like to fold them before I actually put them on here, like pre-fold them, so that just so they're kind of, it's less, you'll see when you go to put it together, it's kind of, it's a long strip, it's an accordion, so it's a little bit easier for me if I go ahead and put a fold in them first. And actually, it doesn't even matter which way you do the fold, because you can fold it back the other way. So you're just going to fold them in half like that. And this first one isn't folded, so let me fold him real quick. And the tab is where we glue the next one. So if you're pre-folding these, do not fold up to the tab. You're only folding up to your score line there for the tab. That's as far as you're folding. Okay. We're going to, and hopefully you can see this, we're going to line this page up. I'm going to go to the edge, top and bottom. Press it down. That's our first page. Now we just keep going. So, pull off the paper from our two-sided tape. Take the next page. Line it up, top and bottom, up against the previous one, like that. Push it down. Peel our paper. Grab the next one. Stick it down. This is the last one. Remember, no tab. Going to put it here and here. And there you go. At this point, you have something that looks a little like this. Not to worry. I'm going to fold it a little bit here so we can move on. So it's like an accordion. Fold, just like an accordion. I had them pre-folded so make this part a little bit easier. Let's see if that helped. Quite like our last page. Again, we need to connect this to that. Okay, here we go. Last side. Done. Tear off the paper cover. Whoops. Tear off all of the paper cover, not just part of it. I love this tape. It's super sticky, and I like the fact that it's not in, I can just, the way I use it, it's not in any kind of a holder or anything. It just works really well for me. This Scotch glue stick is the one that I use most of the time. All the time, actually. Right now, I'm only using this one. Tiny little glue dot, just because I want to. And then we're going to bring it over. Let me turn this like this. So you can see these are all our accordion pages. This is our back cover. And I have this folded already to kind of help me. And I'm going to try to do a little better than I did with the other side, lining it up, but I don't make any promises. Wasn't too painful. But again, I'm not being super meticulous with this because it would just take a lot longer for the video, and you don't care about all that. So now you have the basic structure. If you want to refold those, get them adjusted where you want them, kind of bend them a little bit, do a little tweak here or there, then you can do that. I'm not going to, because for the purposes of this journal, of showing you, it's not important. And I would like to point out, while I'm working on my signature pages here, that this video is actually part of a collaboration brought to you by Whitney of Girl Friday Crafts, and it's part of a Build a Holiday Journal collaboration with Whitney. Now these are the signature pages in the journal. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've covered up the numbers on some of them because I was taping ahead. But trust me, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to start with number 1, or number, I said that backwards. They're going to go like this in the journal. So you will see kind of the tabs in a waterfall, like the top tab, the middle tab, the bottom tab, and then no tab on the last one. So we're going to start with number 1 and then put the other ones underneath it, okay? And you can put this anywhere you want in the journal. I just like it in the back, so then I just feel like it's a good place for it. One, because this is nice and sturdy, of course, but also if you were writing on these journal pages, I think it's a lot better to have something flat like this behind you. I think it'd be a little neater for your journaling, and that's why I choose to put mine in the back here. I think on the one that I'm going to show you later, I put it in the middle of the journal. So you do you, whichever way you want to do it, then do it that way, okay? I'm putting the two-sided tape on the colored part of the tab, and I have pre-scored these, as you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it up here in this corner. And this is where we're going to start the pages. I'm going to try to, if I start out neat, I feel like I'll finish well. But yet to be seen, right? Okay. First page down. Then we're going to flip this one over and do page 2. So, a little tape. Love our two-sided tape. Now with this one, and I hope you can see this, I don't know, I feel like I need to like hold this down a little bit so you can see better. But you have the score line here from that tab. And when I put this one up here, I want to come down a little bit from that score line, because if it's right up against it, then the pages don't open and close well. So just come down. You don't want to go all the way down to here, because then your pages aren't going to fit, because this is the end of this side. But go down a little, just move it out a little bit so you have room to move the pages around, to open and close the pages and write on them. So I'm going to put this up here, and then this might be hard for you to see, but I'm going to put this up here. And I'm going to come down just a little bit from the edge there, hopefully. And put that one down. Okay. And because I left a little space there when I have room to open and close these freely. Here's our next page. Same thing. Give it a little space there. Don't go all the way up to that crease line. Back it off just a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, I think I got it kind of, sort of. Oops, I'm off a little bit here. There's our next one. Last one. Tape. Going to go up a little ways down from the crease so we can open and close our pages freely. That one's a little bit further than I meant to go down. Let me see here. I'm going to try right about there. Let's go with that. Press that down. And now we have all of our signature pages in the journal. And you can easily journal on them. If you want to put photos on them, something like that, you can do that. Whatever you want to do. Now, all we have left to do for this is to put on our little sticky Velcro tabs here. And you can see that the image, my sloppy work, ignore that. There's the image of the tree. You want to try to kind of line it up so that when the journal's closed, the image makes sense. I find that I put so much crap in my journal sometimes that it doesn't close all the way anyway. Like this is my completed journal, and that is no, carry it away. That is not. I mean, it's closed, but it's not quite flush there, let's just say. So you put these together so they're lined up. And we're going to take one of them, pull that off, and we're going to put it where we want it on here. Let me come in a little bit, maybe right about there. And then we'll take our other one and do the same thing. We're going to put one side, tape off one side. Then we're going to come over here on the other side and come in a little bit. I think I'm going to come in to right about there maybe. That looks pretty good. And push that one down. Now you'll pull off the other plastic. And these are super, super sticky. They really are. So you kind of have to almost hold that down a little bit when you pull off that paper coating. And then we're going to close our journal. And I'm not going to be super particular about this. You want to take a little more time than I am. But once you line it up where you want it, then you kind of just push it down. And the first time that you open this up, because I'm going to open it up right away, you want to kind of be a little bit careful about your Velcro because it's freshly adhered. But that's how we open and close the journal. There are a couple elements to the journal that I'm going to do now to kind of show you how they're put together. It's not difficult, but I'm just going to go just through these real quick. These first two are a couple of the pockets. Actually, there's three of them. Three pockets that we're going to do. This one I like to call like an envelope style pocket. I've already scored everything. Again, if you ink your edges, ink your edges. And this one folds like an envelope. For this one, I'm going to use the liquid glue. I'm going to go to the bottom section here, put a little line there and there, just on those two sides. Then I'm going to push these in, pull that up, and that's it. Now, this is a point where sometimes I will take, whoops, push it down, Sherry. I got glue, it's sticking to my fingers. Sometimes I'll take a binder clip or a paper clip or something to hold that down till the glue dries. This is some sticky glue, people. And then that would be where you would fold this down and finish the pocket. The other pocket I'm going to show you will look like this when it's cut out. Again, we're going to score. We're going to fold on these score lines, fold our tabs. And then these need to go in that way. I'm going to pop some glue on there. Because they're going on the inside, if you wanted to, you could, use the two-sided tape. I actually have a skinnier version of that two-sided tape. So for the purpose of this video, I think I'm going to just use that and make my life easier because my fingers are already really, really sticky from the glue, and I don't want to go wash my hands because we're almost done. Okay, So again, we'll peel the paper off. Oops. And then fold our little tabs in. Hopefully I got this somewhat lined up. Fold that one in. And you have a little pocket. And again, ink the edges if you want. The ink I use, another thing that I got along with the ink from Amazon is I got these little ink daubers. And this was a cute little kit because what I do is, with the blue dauber, I use that if I'm putting blue ink on something. The orange one I used at Halloween if you want an orange edge. So if you want something like that, so you're not just changing the heads on them all the time, that's an option. That way I just grab the one I want and use it. With these two pockets, if you wanted to, you could put the smaller Velcro dots on there. These also come from Amazon, and it would be the same process. I'll go ahead and do one real quick, just one of them. Peel off one side. I say that and it's not peeling. Put it up there. Wherever you want it up there. Pull off the other paper. Pull it down. And then you have a pocket that you can open and close that way. Sometimes you don't have to use that, and I don't always use it. You get a little more wear and tear opening and closing the Velcro pockets. It stays down actually pretty well by itself, but you could also pop an embellishment of some kind there. That's an option. Or if you have like those little frogs or whatever that you can use that they use for envelopes sometimes, for business envelopes, something like that would work. Or just leave it. Just leave it and it can pop open or not pop open. Whatever you want to do with those. The final pocket I'm going to show you here, I believe it was designed to probably go on this particular tag. I'm going to call it a tag. It's not, I don't know if it's really a tag. And it just kind of looks cute on there. And you can still put something in it. You can punch a hole and make this into a regular tag. You can glue this onto a page or whatever you want to do. But you will see this one in your kit. And it's again got the sides you just fold. So one, there's 3 sides here, 2, 3. So this one we are going to put on that piece there. There are a lot of elements with this journal. There are a lot of tags and pockets. And I'm not going to show you all of the pockets and tags right now, because that just takes up time and you're going to actually see them in the other half of the video. But there are a lot of options, and you can decide. Your journal won't look exactly like my journal looks when you're done, because you're putting all of your pockets on different pages than I am. You're embellishing them different than I am. So even if you do this journal with a bunch of your friends, everyone's journal is going to look a little bit different. The ribbons are going to look different. If you use your own ribbons, I actually include ribbon enough for all of the tags of some style or lace in my journal kits. But if you use your own, use something, the little fancy ribbons and stuff, and I'll talk more about like that when I go through the actual journal. But you don't have to attach this. My point is, you don't have to attach this to here if you don't want to. That was my point. I'm going to right now, hopefully, maybe, perhaps. And then fold this one in. Fold, fold. And then you have a little, kind of a different pocket here and I think that looks adorable. I should have done that on my other journal. I need to find a place to stick it in there somewhere, but I don't think I have one. So this is really cute to put your little tags and stuff in. I don't have a tag right in front of me right now, of course, because they're already in the journal. But you can pop stuff inside of this little page. Put receipts in there, pictures in there. And I think that's basically it for this journal as far as the construction part of it. This is a kit. It is a kit, but if you're new to paper crafting and you don't want to take the time to plan everything out and it's a lot of work and you just want a little bit of it kind of done for you to give you a start, this is a perfect way to do it. The next part of the video is going to be me actually going through the journal and showing you how I put the journal together, how I finished it off. If you don't need to watch that, you don't have to, but it's a fun little way to get some inspiration for your journal and some ideas. So I hope you continue watching the other half of this video and watch that. Don't forget, this video is part of the Build a Holiday Journal Papercraft Socials collaboration put together by Whitney at Girl Friday Crafts. The link is in the description. Show them some love. Like, follow, comment, all the good stuff.